Max, the brave dragon, the great adventure, and the power of friendship. Once upon a time in an enchanting land, high up in the clouds, there was a little dragon named Max. Max was not an ordinary dragon. He was small, with shimmering, colorful scales that glittered in the sunlight, and large, curious eyes that observed everything around him closely. Although he was small, Max had a big heart and an irrepressible curiosity about the world. One day, while Max was sitting in his favorite tree and looking at the sky, he discovered something incredible. An old yellowed treasure map, which sparkled in the sun. Max was immediately excited. What could this treasure be? He wondered. His friends, the little cat Mimi, who was quick and clever, came over curiously. Look, Max, that is a treasure map, Mimi meowed enthusiastically. It shows the way to a hidden treasure, which is hidden deep in the enchanted forest. Max felt his heart beat faster with excitement. That is our big adventure. Let's look for the treasure, he shouted bravely. The path to the treasure, Max and Mimi set off, the map in their hand. The first path led them into a mysterious tunnel, which led through the old mountains. It was dark and a little spooky, but Max floated bravely ahead, his little wings shimmering in the weak light. Don't be afraid, Mimi. We are together, and together we can do anything, said Max bravely. The tunnel was long and full of strange noises. The echo of their voices reverberated, and sometimes they heard the rustling of small creatures in the dark. But Max remained brave and led Mimi carefully through the darkness. The bubbling river. After the tunnel came a wide meadow with a splashing, bubbling river. The water was crystal clear and sparkled like diamonds. To cross the river, Max and Mimi had to cross a narrow bridge made of tree trunks. It was a challenge, because the bridge was wobbly and slippery. We can do it, Max shouted resolutely. With Mimi on his back, Max carefully balanced across the bridge, step by step, until they arrived safely on the other side. That was a real adventure that brought them even closer together. The high mountain. The last part of their journey led them to a high, steep mountain. The ascent was strenuous, and the wind howled around them. Max felt his little wings getting tired, but he didn't want to give up. Mimi encouraged him. We're almost at the top, Max. Together, so let's hope we do that. With a lot of courage and mutual support, they climbed up the mountain. Arrived at the top, a breathtaking view presented itself to them. The sky was blue, the clouds floated gently, the tea was over, and in the valley lay the enchanted forest, full of secrets and magic. The treasure. Finally, Max and Mimi reached the hidden cave, which was built deep into the rock. The cave was dark and mysterious, but Max felt that their great adventure was almost over. With cautious steps, they crept in, their hearts pounding with excitement. In the middle of the cave stood an old, dusty box that looked as if it had spent many years there. The box was decorated with colorful gemstones and shimmered in the weak light that came through a small crack in the cave. The ceiling fell. Max and Mimi looked at each other curiously. That must be the treasure, Mimi whispered excitedly. Max carefully pushed up the rusty lid, and what they found in it robbed them of. In breath. Sparkling gemstones in all the colors of the rainbow, glittering pearls, golden coins, and even a small luminous crystal ball, which shimmered gently in the hand. But while Max admiring the chest, he felt something important. You know, Mimi, Max said thoughtfully, I believe the real treasure isn't just what's in the chest. It's the adventure that we together experienced, and the friendship that has made us even stronger. Mimi nodded in agreement. Exactly, Max. We have shown courage, overcome obstacles, and helped each other. That's the most beautiful gift. Max smiled and carefully closed the box again. Together they made their way home, full of joy and pride. They knew that they had found something much more valuable. They had two real gems, namely, the power of friendship and the courage to dare anything. When they reached the enchanted forest again, they were warmly greeted by their friends. Max told of their adventure, and everyone was impressed by his courage. From that day on, Max knew that the greatest adventure in life is not always about finding a treasure, but about having friends. And who accompany one on the way and write the most beautiful stories together with one. And so Max, Mimi, and all the forest dwellers lived happily and contentedly, always ready for the next GR. Great adventures,